Hi, Esther here from Nevada. I haven't seen you in a long time, have I? I apologize for that. I'll tell you why in a minute. I wanted you to know that I am on Instagram if you want to look up. Like I put all my projects on there sooner than I do Ravelry or make a podcast. So if you'd like to look at me on Instagram, it's Esther McDonald 7653. It has no meaning, 7653. They just gave me that name, Esther McDonald 7653. And I'd show you, but I'm recording on the iPad, so I can't show you anything on there. Well, since I've seen you, I have had a lot of dental work done, which is despicable. I just hate going to the dentist. Hate it, hate it. I'm terrified of them. I hate it. I feel like I'm going into the Tower of London when I go to the dentist. And then my mother-in-law died, and the very next day my mother died. Is that odd? But both of us lost our mothers. We're orphans now if you'd like to adopt us. And so it was a shock. It was a shock, a big shock. 1, 2, wow. And I want to tell you that neither one of these ladies was a particularly nice person or someone you wanted to visit all the time or talk to. They really weren't. But that doesn't matter. When they die, it's just a big loss. And it also moves you up a notch when your mother dies and you're older like me. You're moved up to her spot. Like my husband and I are the old people in the family now. All the rest of them are dead. And the rest of them are younger than us. We're the old folks that are going to be intolerable to all people like, my mother and my mother-in-law were just a mess. Socially, you couldn't talk to them or anything decently. I hope I don't get that way. I certainly won't podcast if I'm down here rant and rave about bad subjects. Well, anyway, I still knitted despite all of our troubles. Oh, another thing is my husband's doing good. He goes to a support group. He does his exercise faithfully. Every morning he goes to the gym. There's one just up the street here, real close. So, for a guy with Parkinson's, he's doing good and he's taking care of himself. I like that. I didn't know if he'd do that because he's never been disciplined before, but with the thought of being incapacitated, he certainly has gotten disciplined. It's good. I'm happy about that. Anyway, now, knitting. I've been knitting, of course, and crocheting. Now, mostly I was crocheting for about half the time I haven't seen you. And I made lots of things, but I either threw them away or gave them away. If they were good, I gave them away. Charity. And if they weren't, just got rid of them. Because I just used acrylic to make the things. That was a lot of fun. It's fun to do something new once in a while. And now I've gotten back into knitting. Oh, my kitty's making noise at the door. So anyway, I finally finished this. This is called a derecho. D-E-R-E-C-H-O. D-E-R-A-C-H-O. Derecho sweater from, Barocco yarn. And I used the yarn it called for. Barocco Remix Light. It's a very lightweight, lovely yarn. Oh, if you could feel it. If you've never tried Remix Light, oh, please do. Or at least go to the yarn store and touch it. You'll like it. It knits up to a light, frothy material. It feels so good on it. It's such a good summer thing. And then this has a cute bottom to it. The back is longer than the front. Just a little bit, but it has this cute little edging. See, the back's kind of, I'm trying to put it up there. There. Nice. I did it in yellow. And I love the yarn so much I went and got some red. This is called Strawberry. It's a pretty red color. Oh, it's just so nice. Look how it's very thin. To me, it's almost fingering. They call it a DK, but I feel like it's a sport or a fingering. But you can knit it up to, like 5 to the inch or 5.5, either one, and it's nice. It's real light. You can't see through it. I was afraid. Oh my gosh, no, you can't see through this. You can't. It fits very well, and it feels good. Here's one of the things. Excuse me. I crocheted. I didn't put in the sew in the tails yet. I haven't blocked it. This was fun. I got the yarn from Knit Picks. There it goes. I think I'll put some red on the bottom. I think maybe, with crochet, it isn't like you bind off. You don't bind off, so per se. You just stop, and then you can add more anytime you want. So I'm thinking, since it has red at the top, and a little border of red at the bottom would be pretty. I'll do that. It's pretty. It's nice. You can't see it too much here. It's got a nice collar. These things always make a good collar. I like these rolled things in the winter, Oh, it's warm today. I don't need this. But this yarn is nice. It's on my Ravelry page, I think. What it is, I can't remember the name of it. It comes from Knit Picks. So, that was that. Put that over here. Oh, I did make another thing I've been wanting to. It didn't turn out too great. It didn't make any mistakes. I think this is it. It's another top, but it turned out so huge. I mean, it's huge. So I just wear the least clothes you can, a sleeveless t-shirt underneath, and then wear this on the top. It's cotton from Knit Picks. It's that cotton that's part half acrylic and half cotton. It's called the Arrowhead sweater, something like that. I like that arrow pattern. And I had all this green. I had a big giant bag of a green. But it turned out so huge, it's kind of like wearing a big sack, a big gunny sack. So it's not the most stylish, but I've worn it, and I will wear it this summer. That was my goal, is to make a few summer things. And this is almost done. Well, it's coming down to the wire here. This is a this is a, what do you call it? A tunic. It's a tunic. And this is Barocco Remix, the worsted kind, not the light. It's called Barocco Remix, REMIX, in the worsted weight. And it's just a gorgeous, doesn't it look kind of like wool? It's tweedy and everything, but it's cotton. It's cotton and nylon. I love Remix. It's just a wonderful yarn. I love the colors. So I didn't put any decoration because I just want a plain dark thing like this. Where it'll have like 3/4 sleeves or a little shorter maybe. And it'll go down to about the middle of the thigh. It's a tunic. And it's big. It's a big A-line thing. So it'll be roomy. Wind can blow through. That'll be nice. So that makes 3 things. 3 summer things. And then I have a friend, I think she lives in Arizona, it is. And she and I talk on the email all the time. And she said, hey, do you have that pattern, Vertices Unite? I said, huh? What? And I thought, oh, that. Oh, yeah. It was in my favorites. I went and bought it. She said, give it a look. So I did. Oh, how fun it is. It is really fun. Let me take some of that Post-its off. It's a shawl by good old Stephen West. Well, I usually just avoid because he's too wacko for me. But I like this shawl. See? Oh, let me take this off. You make it in these, what he calls vertices, I guess, these shapes. And you pick up and make the next one. So it's all one piece. You don't have to sew anything. You just pick up a knit. I'm on the very first piece, which is this one. I mean, this one right here. And it goes down here. And a lot of it is stripes, which is good because it helps you know when to increase. Because it's every fourth row you increase. So every fourth row you got a different color yarn. I mean, so you can tell yourself, oh, it's that color. Now I decrease. Oh, it's this color. No, I don't. I just knit straight. So that's the yarn. I used some, what was it? Fingering merino plus silk fingering yarn from Knit Picks as the dark color, the plain brown. And then the multicolored one, the pretty, it's a Malabrigo. I don't know what it is. It's Malabrigo. It's probably like Piedras or Arco something. You know those names they have. I think it's Piedras, really. It's got all those greens and orange and purples that I like so much. Oh, there's nothing better than green, orange, and purple together, I think. Oh, they're so beautiful. And beiges, and I don't think there's any blue. Oh, that's just gorgeous. And that other one I told you is just plain brown. I made a fingering weight sweater out of this, remember that? It's just brown. Silk. But using the silk, it makes it a little sturdier than just a fingering weight merino yarn would be, a shawl. It gives the shawl a little more sturdiness that I like, solid feeling, So I got online to get some more of this, and wouldn't you know, they don't have this color anymore. So I got some other colors, that's fine. You don't use the same color throughout the whole shawl. You're supposed to be kind of bohemian here and do different colors. I looked on Ravelry to see the other people's versions, other people who made the shawl. Oh, everyone's different. Everyone's gorgeous and different. Oh, I just dropped the yarn. So pretty. Some were all blues, different blues. That was nice. That was pretty. But I like browns more. So mine is brown. So that's what I've been doing. And other things that I'd stop and start. I started a couple of little shawls that didn't work out and I didn't really like, so I frogged them, put the yarn back. And that's what I've been doing. You know what I'm also looking at, I'm thinking of, is the Hipster. Joji Locatelli's Hipster. It has those interesting crossover stitches there. So this is just a garter stitch shawl with bands of those interesting cross, I think they're called Indian cross stitches. Let me see if she names it. Some people don't put the name in. Yeah, she doesn't. She just called it a textured band. But anyway, should be pretty. I'm thinking of doing that too. Isn't that nice? Then you can put those little fringes on the bottom. Oh, I like fringe. I like fringe. I make so many things in yellow and gold. This immediately attracts me, but I kind of make things in other colors too, because I don't want to just wear yellow and gold all the time. I want to wear blue and green and so forth. It's nice. She has a podcast now. And she's such a great designer, but I don't find her podcast very interesting. I suppose I'll... don't worry about what I just said. You like Hohi Locatelli. Just go watch her podcast. You know what podcast I like are these. Oh God, I didn't write them down. Another thing I'll have to tell you next time. I don't know. Doggone it. Anyway, I'm old. What can you expect? Taking my mother's place in the universe. Okay, well, I think that's about it. Very short and sweet, eh? I'll come back to you when I make something else here. All right, bye.